Hey guys, it's Baseplay 12 or Mitch as you guys know me. Today's video, I want to talk about something that makes me, I don't know, it's a cross between makes my blood boil and it just, I don't know, it makes me feel sad. Today's video is going to be about division, and the part that makes me sad and angry is right now in the United States, there just seems to be so much division. I mean, it just comes from you from every direction. Division with just political divisions, Republicans, Democrats, racial divisions, divisions on vaccinated versus unvaccinated, just divisions on so many just philosophies. It just seems to be flying around left and right. And the division is just, it's super harmful, guys. I mean, you guys know the verses on division where, you know, a kingdom that's divided against itself cannot stand. And so I apply that to the United States where, you know, we're supposed to be United States, and right now we're the divided states where everything just seems to be, you know, it's just so one group against another, one thought process against another. And so the part that makes me angry is I just know that this is coming from the enemy. And the enemy is, you know, it seems weird. Like the enemy just knows the strategies. Like if I can divide this group from another, I can have them focus on the wrong thing. I can have them focus on the individual rather than the enemy. I mean, you know the verse, I think we all know the verse, Ephesians 6:12. For we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. And that's what the enemy would love us to think. The enemy would just love to have us battle against each other, each person against another person. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities, rulers, and darkness. And that's what the enemy wants. He wants us to battle against flesh and blood. The enemy wants us to hate another person rather than to hate him. And it's just sad for me to see that. There's so much violence, so much evil going on against other people. And, you know, it's so prevalent. When you turn on the news, there's just so much division going on, so much hatred. I mean, we're talking about police and, you know, it's pretty prevalent. For those of you that don't live in the United States, I don't know what the division is going on with your country. But, you know, we turn on the TV, we see the division with, you know, Israel and Palestinians. I mean, it's just, there's so many avenues that we can hit this on, you guys. And so today's video, I'm just coming at you just super transparent and honest. You know what? We need to come against the enemy on this one. We need to say to the enemy, you know what? We're going to do our best to stand united. What's an action you can take is, you know, before you feel like you're going to take your anger out on somebody else, it's to pray for them. You know, there's so many people that it's easy to hate, easy to just come against, easy to just say, you know what, I really can't stand that person. And so I'm not going to say it's easy. Trust me, it's so hard to just go, oh, but we need to take a step back and, you know, have the heart of the Lord and say, instead of hating, I'm going to love on that person. I'm going to pray for that person. Because when we pray for somebody, that you know, that anger we have seems to just disappear. Now, does it disappear forever? No. I mean, there's the next day something might happen or they might say something where that anger comes back on you. But, you know, I encourage you and I encourage myself to just continue to just pray and pray and pray that, you know, God will get a hold of their heart and change. Because you know what? Right now, as we think in our minds, it would be easy to say, you know what, they'll never change. But you know what? God can change their minds, change their hearts. And that's where we have to just be strong. Like, God, I know this sounds impossible, but you are the God of the possible. Change people's hearts, change evilness, change just their ways. And you know what? That eventually starts with us too. You know, I have to look at myself and say, is there things that I have to change too? The way I think, the way I react, the way I act. And so today, you know, if we can just wrap it up into one thing, the enemy would just to love to divide us because it's called divide and conquer, right? My students, you know, we talk about that all the time, but we talk about it with tasks, you know, like, hey, there seems to be a million things. Let's divide and conquer so we can, take care of each thing. The enemy wants to do that too. The enemy wants to divide us so he can conquer each group, because he knows together we can stand, divided we'll fall apart. So I would just encourage you today, see if we can come back to some type of unison. Find that common ground with somebody. You might have an argument, you might have a division with somebody, but just say, let's find out what we do have in common, and maybe push aside the things that we disagree on and just say, hey, what things can we work on together? Because, if this room was on fire right now and I was with somebody that I disagreed with, I am pretty sure we would agree that we want to get out of this building. And so, I cringe when I say this, but I sometimes think the Lord allows certain things to happen that knows that we'll come together on it. And whether that be a tragedy, whether that be some type of thing that we have to go through, because you know what, I'm thinking about 9/11, how united the state, our country was after that happened. We came together and we're like, we got to come together if we're going to ever heal from this. And so sometimes I feel the Lord allows things so we can run to him, we can run to each other and just become united and together again. And so that's just kind of where my heart is today, guys. It's just to encourage you guys to see if we can heal up the division and come together so we don't get conquered by the enemy. I don't know. It's just some thoughts I threw out there. Let me know in the chat or in the description or the comments what you guys feel about it. But I'm definitely praying for our country that we cannot be divided by the enemy, but come together with God. Okay, guys, I am Base Bay 12. I'll see you in tomorrow's base cover.